see. I see we are now broadcasting. We're just getting up and running here today. All right, we are just at the top of the hour, broadcasting here live for an informational webinar on Imperial digital marketing, customer analytics, and engagement. We're going to give everyone a few moments to dial in and join us here today. If you're already with us, welcome. It's good to have you here. You'll see here on your screen, you have reached the right place. You're at the Imperial Digital Marketing, Customer Analytics and Engagement Informational Webinar. The program starts just in a couple of weeks here on September 3rd. Today is August 24th. While we give others a moment to join, we'd love to hear from all of you. One of the things that you'll get to practice today on today's informational webinar is using some of the interactive tools that are available in this live faculty session. So we want to give you an opportunity to practice using some of those interactive opportunities. If you look there at the bottom of your screen, you'll see a toolbar with a Q&A box and a chat box. So the first thing we'll do is we'll practice using that chat box there. We'd love it if you opened that box up and you'll see there's a drop-down menu where you can select all panelists and attendees. And that will allow your chat message to be viewable by everyone who's here with us on the call. And we'd love to hear where you were dialing in from. What geography are you dialing in from? And if you'd like to share what brings you here today, what are you hoping to learn on today's session? My name is Marie Mize, and I'm dialing in from the northeastern part of the United States. It is about 6:30 in the morning here, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. And we'd love to hear from you as well. So open up that chat box and say a quick hello and let us know what country you're dialing in from. We have Jackson Yap, our very first person to dial in here today. Welcome, Jackson. It's good to have you here. We have Vishal from Bangkok. Jackson, you're from Singapore. Welcome. See, we have HP here. So this is Tangjali calling in from Bangkok, Thailand. Welcome. Good to have you with us. You'll see we have a truly global audience on today's session. Participants are joining from all across the globe, from all different geographies and regions. Yuki, also here from Bangkok, Thailand. Welcome. Thailand is representing today. A lot of you are dialing in and saying hello. Patricia here from Toronto, Canada. Welcome, Patricia. Good to have you with us. I see we are about 3 minutes past the hour. I don't want to hold up the show too much longer, but that chat box will be available for you throughout today's session. So that is an informal way for you to say hello. If you agree with something you hear, you can type it in the chat box there. Again, it's an informal way for you to communicate with us here on today's session. You'll notice a little further to the left of your toolbar, there's a Q&A box. So that's a call out box with the letters Q and A underneath it. That is a question and answer box. So as we move along in today's session, we're going to be sharing a lot of information with you rather quickly. If you have any questions that you would like to have us address live in today's session, please do use that Q&A box. We're going to be moderating a question and answer session at the end of today's call with our faculty. So it's an opportunity for you to ask questions directly of our faculty presenter here today. So that'll also be available for you throughout the session. Feel free to use that at any point in today's presentation. If there's questions or if you'd like us to go back and touch on something in more detail, just put that over in the Q&A box and we'll be sure to get to as many of those as we can at the end of the session today. So let's go ahead and move us along. Welcome to all of you who have joined us from all over the globe. It's great to have you with us. You'll see here on your screen, this is a picture of Imperial College London. We're all very excited to have you with us. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedules to join and learn more about this course from Imperial College London. So our agenda today, here's a little bit of what we'll be covering. We'll talk about the future of business today. about Imperial online programs. So you'll learn about this program, but you'll also learn about some of the other offerings at Imperial. We're going to talk about how you will learn, and then we're going to talk about what you will learn. So it's important to make that distinction. What is it like to be a student in the course? How is the platform set up? How do you learn in this course? We'll introduce you to the program faculty who's going to take us through that other piece of it, what you will learn. So you'll have an opportunity to hear a live lecture today from the program faculty as he goes through the details of the course and what you can expect to learn. Finally, we'll talk about that program certificate and next steps, and then you'll see there we also have the question and answer portion to close out the session today. So that's what you can expect on today's session. Without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce our guest speakers here today. First and foremost, we have our keynote speaker, Dr. Gokhan Yildirim, who's here with us. He's the Associate Professor of Marketing at Imperial College Business School. Gokhan, would you like to say hello to our participants here today?
Yeah, hello everyone. A very warm welcome to this webinar. So I'm really looking forward to sharing my talk with you.
Good to have you with us. That is a taste of what's to come. You're going to hear a lot more here from Dr. Yildirim here shortly. We also have with us on the line from Imperial, we have Russell Miller. He's the Director of Learning Solutions and Innovation at Imperial College Business School Executive Education. Russell, would you like to greet our participants as well?
Yes, thanks, Marie. Hello, everyone. Great to see so many people joining from all over the world today on this live session, so which is fantastic, and actually kind of illustrates the breadth of participants that we have on our online programs. You know, people joining from all over the world. So great to see that reflected here today, and I look forward to speaking to you all very soon.
Great, thank you as well, Russell, for being here with us today. I'm going to hand over the spotlight here directly over to Russell and to Dr. Yildirim here. They are our keynote speakers and the reason you are all with us here. But before I hand it over, 2 quick points to mention. Firstly, as I said before, that Q&A box is going to be there and available for you throughout the portion of the webinar today. So please do use that box liberally throughout the session if you have questions or if you'd like us to go back and touch on a concept in further detail. The other thing to note is that today's session is being recorded, and we will be providing copies of the recording as well as the presentation deck to each and every one of you. So stay tuned to the end. We'll talk more about how you can get copies of the recording and of the presentation. But rest assured, if you have a distraction or a tech issue, or if you just like to come back and review the material once more, we will be providing all of it for you. So with that, I will hand us over here to Russell Miller. He's going to talk about the future of business today. Over to you, Russell.
Thanks, Marie, and hello again, everybody. So I just want to talk to a few points on this slide. I won't keep you very long. I want to make sure that we get to Gokhan's session, which I think you'll find fascinating, and also make sure that we've got plenty of time at the end of the webinar today for questions and answers. But for me, there's a real key word on this slide, and the word is in green at the top, and it's fusion. So here at Imperial, one of the things that sets us apart from many other business schools and institutions around the world is our ability to draw on a broad range of expertise from our faculty members. So we're able to convene some of the brightest minds in the world across a range of disciplines to pull together amazing online programs such as this one. So the point, I guess, around the way in which we bring these people to you is that in these programs you get a real interaction with our faculty members. So plenty of time spent with Gokhan and Andreas, to faculty members from the program, plenty of time with each other as well, and learning from your peers. And we've already seen today the global nature of the cohort. You get a really fantastic mix of people joining the program as participants, which is great. Secondly, on this slide, just want to bring your attention to some of the statistics on the right-hand side. So we have a great reputation at Imperial for driving innovation, both in terms of the research that we do and also in the way in which we design and build out programs such as this. And in fact, the second statistic, which just shows the ranking of our global online MBA, for example, the great news there and the relevancy is that the platform that underlies the program that we're talking about today also underlies our global online MBA program. So you get to experience that great technology that supports your learning. But technology is just one part of the picture. This is very much a human program. So, as I mentioned, we have lots of interaction between faculty members, learning facilitators, and each other, of course. Marie, would you mind just pushing us forward a slide? Thank you. Perfect. Yeah, so I talked about human. So let's kind of just focus a little bit on how you'll learn on the program. So you'll be joining the program along with your fellow members of your cohort, and you'll be working with each other. You'll be working with our learning facilitators. You'll be working with Gokhan and Andreas in a highly interactive, community-orientated program. So there's a lot of active tutoring on the program. So it's an online program, but you still get that interaction with real people throughout the course of the program. So in terms of your online learning experience, you can expect the same learning outcomes as you would get if you were joining us on our campus. So these are programs that really take advantage of not just our technology, but our pedagogy too in this kind of online space. We're kind of well known for our EdTech capabilities at Imperial that have won many awards around the world. So all of this kind of comes together in a way that enables you to get great learning from some world-class faculty, Gokhan, who you'll meet in a moment, but also to experience that technology and that interaction that our learning platform provides too. Thanks, Marie. Could you just click us forward the next slide? Perfect. So just want to introduce you to Andreas before I introduce you to Gokhan. So Professor Andreas Eisengerich is Professor of Marketing and Head of the Department of Analytics, Marketing and Operation with us at Imperial College Business School. And you'll get to meet him when you join the program. He has a fantastic resume of working both in terms of practitioner-orientated work, so he's working kind of the real world, but as well as being a leading academic as well. So I think what you'll find with our faculty members, with Andreas and with Gokhan, is this great blend of practical experience as well as a rigorous academic background. I won't go into all of the details here around Professor Andreas Eisengerich's resume. You can read it and the slides will be available for you as well post this webinar. If you could just move me forward a slide, please, Marie. Thank you. So before I introduce you to Gokhan, here's just a few words about Gokhan's experience. So Gokhan is a member of our faculty and a long-standing member of the team that's been involved in executive education and this program since its inception. So Gokhan has a fascinating background, and his research, particularly at the moment, is focusing on digital marketing and the use of apps that kind of are really relevant to the program content during the course of the 10 or so weeks that you'll be spending with us. So without further ado, let me hand you over to Gokhan, who will talk a little bit more about some of the content of the program. So what is it that we're going to cover? And actually we'll give you a taste of some of the material as well, which I think you'll find fascinating. So thank you very much. Over to you, Gokhan.
Thanks a lot, Russell. So a very warm welcome to everyone. It's so exciting to be part of this webinar. Let me tell you upfront that this program is a very practical approach to understanding and applying the digital marketing tools and frameworks, right? So it provides excellent hands-on experience through real-world case studies. So you will learn by doing. And the case studies come from our own research and consulting projects. So the program content is just fantastic and combines managerial relevance with the academic reader wonderfully. So you will blend the soft marketing approaches with analytical and machine learning applications. So it's really, really practical. What can you get out of this program specifically? Let's talk about that. So as you can see here, the first module focuses on one of the most significant issues in digital marketing: how to get customers' attention online. So in this module, we will, for instance, discuss various communication strategies that will help you capture customers' attention online. And the second module goes beyond the attention. So we will learn, for example, how to win customers' hearts, minds, and sales using customer attitudinal data. And this module, module 2, will give you also the opportunity to get your hands dirty with real-world data set on mindset metrics. So in module 3, we will talk about how to turn customer attention to engagement, right? So we will learn how to keep customers engaged with our online content. We will also learn how to build customer trust, respect, and love online. Can we move to the next slide, Mary? So yeah, so in module 4, we will learn some of the widely used digital analytical approaches to knowing and serving our customers better. So how to serve, how to know better our customers, right? For example, we'll look at the online recommendation algorithms, user-based and item-based recommendations, AI-supported mobile marketing strategies, and so on. In module 5, we will discuss how to turn customer engagement into sales, right? So we will have a deep dive into gamification and effective web design strategies. So finally, in module 6, we will explore the role of digital communication vehicles, for instance, search engine marketing, display advertising, and social media marketing, and so on. So we want to influence consumer behavior and also drive brands' performance. So we will look at all these communication vehicles to learn more about how we can influence consumer behavior online and impact a brand's financial performance, right? The analytical part in this week will show you how display ad campaigns can be analyzed through the lens of a case study with a car brand, right? So let's move to the next slide, Marie. Great. So as I said before, the program delivers excellent case studies and practical applications that come mainly from our own projects, right? So examples here include Netflix, Seat, and some FMCG brands. And on top of that, our tutorials, computer-based tutorials, will provide you with additional skills on data analysis and machine learning tools, right? So let's move, Mary. Great. Now, what I want to do is to share with you one of the projects that I ran for a multinational beauty retailer together with my co-authors from the Boston University and Northeastern University. So the company is L'Occitane. It's a French company that offers natural and organic cosmetics and well-being products to customers, right? So I'm very proud to say, by the way, that this project has won the Marketing Science Practice Prize Award, which is one of the most prestigious awards in the field. So let's move on. Okay, so a bit of background to the company. So in 2017, L'Occitane had 1.32 billion euros of revenues and about 170 million euros of profits. It operates in 90 countries with more than 3,000 stores and 8,000 employees. So it's really, really a big company. The company adopts a mix of online and offline marketing strategies and sales channels. So what happened is that the company approached us and that they wanted to have a more data-driven and evidence-based approach for guiding their marketing resources. They wanted to know which customers to target with which marketing actions. In this project, they were keen on finding the effectiveness of direct mail and email campaigns. Basically, their past approach was based on experience or gut feeling, right? So typically, they used to send expensive marketing campaigns to high-value customers. Actually, that was leading to high marketing expenses on their side. So our goal was to provide a marketing science tool to L'Occitane to determine the allocation of emails and direct mails to be sent to different customer segments and across countries, right? So that is how to allocate marketing resources to maximize the financial impact. That was the managerial problem with L'Occitane. Can we move on, Marie? Yeah, let's move on. Okay, so we sat down together with the CRM department of the company and developed this conceptual framework. Okay, the problem was a multinational, multidimensional problem. How do email and direct mail responsiveness vary across customer segments and countries for online and offline sales? So together with the company, we sat down and we developed this conceptual framework. Let's move on. Okay, so here we go. So after laying out the managerial problem, we thought how we should really deal with it, right? So how we should approach this problem academically. And what we did was to offer a multi-stage modeling approach. So basically, we used descriptive, predictive, and prescriptive models for L'Occitane. So in the descriptive modeling stage, what we did was to quantify the value of each individual customer for the company. And for that, we used the well-known framework, recency, frequency, monetary, and clumpiness framework, right? So based on the computed values, RFMC values, we clustered customers with a machine learning algorithm, right? So great, in the predictive stage, we evaluated how the responsiveness of different customer groups to direct mail and email campaigns across 6 countries, right? So finally, in the prescriptive stage, we offered our model-based suggestions, so, right? So we reallocated marketing actions based on the computed relative elasticities. And finally, we designed and implemented a field experiment to see how our model-based findings would hold in one of the countries that L'Occitane was operating in, right? So great. So briefly, our modeling approach consisted of 3 stages: descriptive, predictive, prescriptive, right? So let's move on. Okay. So these are the dataset characteristics we used in this project. So the dataset had more than 80,000 customers in 6 countries: Germany, Spain, France, UK, Italy, and US. So we had access to purchase history data for online and offline sales and discounts. About marketing actions, we had the variables, direct mail and email campaigns, just for you to have an understanding of what kind of data set we had in this project. So let's move on. Okay, now I will share our findings from this project step by step, okay? So based on the descriptive analytics that we performed, we found that there were 6 distinct customer segments, okay? So prospects, dormants, non-recent low value, recent low value, medium value, and high value customers. For example, prospects are those who never bought from the company. Dormants are those who bought in the distant past. Non-recent low value customers are those who bought long time ago in small amounts. Recent low value customers are those who bought recently in small amounts, and so on. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, here are the findings for how we segmented customers for L'Occitane. So high value customers, if you look at the last column here that we highlighted, range from 1% to 4% across these countries. Italy had a small percentage compared to other countries. So this was something that the company thought to improve, okay? So 40% of the customers in the UK were dormants. If you look at the second column from the left, you'll see that 40% of the customers in the UK were dormant. So it was a very high percentage, right? The company wanted to activate the segment and possibly move them to the other upper segments. In the US, 38% of customers were prospects. If you look at the first column from the left in this table, you will see that number. So 38% of customers were prospects. So the company's struggle was how to convert these prospects to dormant or to other segments in this table, right? So next slide, please, Mary. Okay, so don't worry. So the equations here look a bit ugly, but let me tell you that we use this model to measure the responsiveness of email and direct mail campaigns for L'Occitane. It's an econometric model, so I don't want to get you bogged down in the details here. So let's move. Okay, so two campaigns here that we focus on, email and direct mail campaigns. Let's move, Mary. Yeah. Okay, so now I'm going to tell you our finding on direct mail campaigns. So we found that direct mail effectiveness varies only by customer segment, right? So direct mail has own channel effects and works only for prospects across all countries. So it's interesting. So this was something really surprising to L'Occitane. Remember what I said at the beginning when I introduced the company. L'Occitane used to send this expensive marketing campaign, catalogs, direct mails, to most expensive customers, right? High value customers. But our finding suggested exactly the opposite. So you should send direct mail campaigns to only prospects across all countries. This was our finding with respect to direct mail campaigns. So let's move, Marie. Here are findings on email campaigns. So we found that email effectiveness varies both by customer segment and country, right? So email was effective in France, Italy, and USA, and has cross-channel effects across segments and own channel effects for high-value segments, right? So email has cross-channel effects across segments and own channel effects for high value segments. Great, so let's move. Now we learned, after we learned about the effectiveness of these email and direct mail campaigns, we wanted to reallocate the company's resources. So I'll talk about resource allocation strategies now. So this was the allocation that the company used to do. Direct mail, mainly for high value segments, and email mainly following the segment size, right? So so for instance, prospects and medium value customers, dormants, were communicated with email campaigns based on their sizes, right? So and this was kind of the same for all countries. Okay, this is how the company was allocating its resources. Let's move on. What we recommended, right? So based on our model findings. So this is what we recommended to L'Occitane. So direct mail campaigns should only be sent to prospects, right? Interesting. Email should be used for almost all customer segments, but not according to the segment size necessarily. So let's move. Okay, so with these recommendations, we tested in the data how the revenues would be affected, right? We showed that the revenues would be increased up to 16%, okay? So with our recommendations, we showed that the company could increase their revenues by up to 16%. Okay, after finding these results, we talked to the company. So we presented these results, right? So the management team found the results fascinating, right? So at the same time, they were a little bit skeptical about our finding on the direct mail campaigns, right? So they wanted to see how these results would hold if they were to make the changes we suggested. right? So one thing is that you look at the past data, you analyze, and you find what happened in the past, right? But what you want to learn about is whether those results from the past data would hold in the future, right? So for that, together with L'Occitane, we decided to run a field experiment in Italy. Okay, let's move, Mary. Okay, what we did was to run a field experiment. So we took a sample of 122,000 customers in Italy, and then we assigned these customers randomly into 4 groups. Okay, the first group, we call it control group, and this group did not receive any campaign. The second group received only email campaigns. The third group received only direct mail campaigns. And finally, group 4 received both campaigns. Okay, so very briefly. So we randomly assigned these 4 experimental groups. Okay, let's move. So what did we find now based on the experiment that we ran together with the company? So our finding on direct mail campaign was confirmed. Direct mail was only effective for prospects. In the experiment, we found that. But what about their revenue performance? How much was the revenue affected, in the experiment? Using the experiment data, we showed that the revenue lift was 9.5%. Right? So of this lift, 6.3% was due to the increase in effectiveness of email campaigns, and 3.2% was due to the direct mail campaigns. Right? So we decomposed this lift in revenue into direct mail lift and also email lift. Okay, great. If you think about the chain-wide implementation of our recommendations, you might expect that the impact to be really high, maybe in the order of hundreds of million euros, right? Great, so let's move, Murray. Okay, so after we finished this project with L'Occitane, the CRM manager, Delphine, you can see her picture on the slide, was very happy to see that the evidence-based or data-driven approach to their multi-channel marketing decisions brought some additional value to their business. And this is what she said. I'm reading exactly what she said. So the different effectiveness of direct mail and email, depending on the customer type, was surprising to us. Rethinking about this finding, we have a deep and increasing interest in investing in direct mail activities for customer acquisition and inactive customers, right? So, okay, let's move. So why did I bring this case study to you today? So the reason I brought this case study is that it reflects really well what you will learn in the analytical part of this course, okay? So you will have many more practical case studies that will show you how to approach different digital marketing issues with the right tools and frameworks. For example, in this course, you will learn how to transform data into insights and actions using soft marketing approaches as well as analytical machine learning approaches. You will also learn how to understand your customers better and target them with the right marketing strategies. So after completing this course, you'll be able to win your customers' minds, hearts, and sales following evidence-based marketing tools. You'll also learn how to allocate your marketing resources across digital and non-digital channels to maximize the financial impact. All in all, after completing this course, you will have excellent knowledge and skill sets on digital marketing and analytics. So, of course, from a customer point of view always. So we want to create value for our customers, and we want to use these digital marketing tools and frameworks, to achieve that objective. So you can create tangible and substantial impact within your organization after completing this course as well. So I think that's it from me. And thanks a lot for your attention. And I would be more than happy to answer your questions. If you have any, please shoot them to me. And thank you.
Great, and thank you for being here with us and taking us through this detailed weekly overview of what students can expect in the course. So thank you for taking time out of your schedule as well to be here with us today. So, so next steps, if you're interested in moving forward, we want to give you some information about what that looks like and how you can do that. You'll see first and foremost here on your screen, upon completion of this course, you'll see a sample of what that digital certificate of completion looks like. Right there at the top at the heading, you'll see Imperial College Business School, Executive Education, with your name and the date right there on the certificate. And this really showcases your learning and your expertise in this area of customer analytics. You can post this on your LinkedIn profile. You can write about it on your resume. And again, it really helps others to see that you have this knowledge and expertise here in digital marketing. So the next thing that will happen here is you'll see on your screen that the course starts on September 3rd. That's just around the corner. So we want to give you an opportunity to learn more about the course and figure out if this is a right fit for you. So what you'll do next is you'll see there's going to be an apply link that's posted in the chat box. So I'll tell you as soon as we get that link posted for you. But if you click on that link, it'll take you over to our registration page where you can put in your name and your contact details. When you put your name and your contact details in, the very next thing that will happen is a member of our program advising team will reach out to you. So a real live one-on-one person will give you a call and ensure that you have everything that you need, and they'll help to answer any of those logistical questions that you might have about the course. So our program advisors, they're here with us now. They're on today's live session and they're eager to hear from you. So do go over to that registration page there, put in your name and your details, and get yourself a program advisor to work with you between now and September 3rd. So for example, if you have questions about the payment flexibility options, or perhaps you have questions about the dates and the assignment deadlines, or what happens if I'm late with an assignment, any of those course policy or logistical questions around dates and times, your program advisor will be able to answer those questions for you. So your program advisor will be your go-to person for any course policy and logistical questions. However, while we have Dr. Yildirim here on the line, we want to ensure that you all have an opportunity to ask questions about the course content. So you'll notice in a live course such as this one here, you really get to drive your own learning. You get to interact live with program faculty, and so now's your chance to experience what that is like. Do put any questions you have in that Q&A box, and we'll be sure to ask those of Dr. Yildirim here on today's live session. But again, for those logistical questions, course policy questions, start dates, financing options, all of that will be handled by your program advisor. So be sure to get yourself a program advisor if you don't already have one. And I promised you earlier in the session that I would tell you how you can get copies of today's recording and the presentation deck. Those are provided to you by your program advisor as well. So if you'd like to have a recording from today's session so that you can go back and review the material in a bit more detail, and if you would like to see a copy of the presentation deck, your program advisor will be the person that provides those copies to you. So we're going to use the rest of our time here today. We've got plenty of time to hear from all of you to go through any questions that you have about this course. And I think what I'll do is I'll kickstart the show here today, if you don't mind me putting you on the spot there, Dr. Yildirim. So we've got participants from all over the world coming into this course, from all different industry areas as well. So as participants are trying to figure out if this course is the right fit for them, could you talk about how the course was designed to be applicable across different industries and sectors? Or is it just really geared towards a certain industry, such as finance? Maybe you can touch a little bit on the breadth of the course.
Yeah, so when we designed this course, we want to make sure that, participants can learn from many applications from various industries. So therefore, the case studies, for instance, cover companies from various industries, FMCG brands, car manufacturers, online platforms, right? So I can tell you that different industries are, covered in this course. So you can make the most of this by also bringing your own experience, right? You can actually learn, for instance, if the tool is introduced for an FMCG brand, perhaps you can learn from that and apply that tool or framework or strategy to your own business in a different industry, right? So you can bring the novelty from a different category to your own category by understanding how the things are really running in different industries. So we tried our best in kind of capturing as many different industries as possible in our case studies. But I think what is really important here is how much you really would like to get from those case studies and apply them to your own organization. So I think the breadth is really wide here, but at the end, the experience that you will get by talking to your peers, by talking to faculty, I think you'll be able to apply the tools and frameworks that you will learn from this course easily.
Great, and I loved how you touched on learning from peers. It's such a big part of the course and the way it's designed. If you were with us at the beginning of the session, you heard me call out the different geographies. From those of you who are with us on the line, one of the key parts about coming into an online course such as this is the diversity that spans not only across industries, but also across geographies, across years of work experience. So some of you are coming in with, beginners, straight into your careers. Others of you have over 25 years of experience. You represent all different industries, all different geographies. And so the course is really built to help you learn from one another as well. So you're taking these concepts into the work that you do every day, into your organizations to reach your organizational goals, but you're also seeing how these concepts apply in other areas as well. So you really get that well-rounded knowledge as you're learning from one another. So there's lots of opportunities built into the course for you to engage with your peer network as well as with faculty here as well. So I see here our program support team has posted that link for us in the chat box. If you open up the chat box, you'll see it there. It's a link to the apply page at the Imperial Digital Marketing Customer Analytics and Engagement Program apply page. So open up your chat box, you can click on that link and it'll take you right over to the registration page. So if you haven't already put in your contact details, go ahead and do that before the session closes today, and let us know you're interested so that we can give you a program advisor, assign a program advisor to work with you on some of those logistical questions. It's a 2-month online program. It takes about 4 to 6 hours a week to complete. So if you'd like some information about what those day-to-day weeks look like in terms of the schedule, your program advisor will be able to walk you through that information as well. So these online courses are a really exciting opportunity for you to engage with a peer network that's global, and you got that certificate as one of the returns on your investment, but the other return on your investment truly is that opportunity to broaden your professional network across geographies and across industries. So you're learning from a truly diverse peer network. So you have those 2 key returns on your investments with this course here. So I see we're sort of quiet in the Q&A, we're quiet in the chat, and that's okay. I think that means we did a really great job of going through this information and providing you what you needed. But if you do have any burning questions, now is the time to put them in that Q&A box. We will be closing out the session if we don't hear any further questions here. So if you want to see us address anything, now's the time to throw that in the Q&A box. But otherwise, we'll start with our final closing remarks. We'll invite Russell Miller back in if he's still with us, and Professor Yildirim here as well. Any words of advice or final thoughts that you'd like to share with our participants as they consider joining the course? So maybe Russell, if you don't mind, we'll start with you. You kind of have that insight into the larger program offerings at Imperial. Any final words that you'd like to leave our participants here with today?
Thanks, Marie. I think you did a really good job of covering most of the key points between you and Gokhan. I think for me, this program, is a fantastic blend of helping you understand some of the tools and the techniques around analytics, but also an understanding of how to apply that back on your day job. So this is a program that helps you in the real world, and it gives you those tools and those skills that you need to be successful in this field. So it's a fantastic course. And Marie's absolutely right. You get to meet a huge range of people from a range of different geographies and industries too. And all that comes together in a great way to give participants on this program a fantastic learning experience. So thank you very much, Professor Yildirim, for your time today as well. I don't know if you have any parting comments too.
Yeah, thanks a lot, Russell. So yeah. So I just want to say that this course is not a copy of a textbook, or anything like that. So all the material, all the case studies come from our own personal projects and research work. So you will learn how the companies adopted soft and analytical marketing approaches to their problems, to increase their customer engagement, to increase their financial performance, and so on. So it's a really nice blend of analytical and soft marketing, digital marketing topics.
Great, thank you. Thank you both, Russell Miller and Professor Yildirim here for being with us and for giving those final thoughts. And I love what you said there. This is not a MOOC, it's not a massive open online course. This is a specialized course, a small private course built around faculty here, built around your research, Dr. Yildirim. So you can expect to have that high level of touch, that high relational interaction in the course, where you're really driving your own learning, you're asking questions, you're asking for resources that help you build around the work that you're doing in your day-to-day professions. So it's one of the huge advantages of coming into a course such as this one with Imperial, is you get that high touch and relationship-based approach to learning. And what we know about adult learning is that really helps you, that helps the learning to sink in, and it helps you to retain it when you're practicing with the concepts that you're learning in real time. So you have an opportunity to do that with this course. We hope to see each and every one of you in the course, again, here starting on September 3rd. Go over to that registration page and get yourself a program advisor. We hope to see each and every one of you here shortly, and make sure you get a copy of today's recording and presentation as well. So with that, we will sign off today's session with a heartfelt thank you to all of you who have joined us from all over the globe to learn more about this course. We hope to see each and every one of you on September 3rd. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good day to all of you from around the world. We hope to see you very soon. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Bye.